I'm Mark,
And I'm Josh.
and this is Alter Ego Comics TV for July 13th. And a ton of great stuff this week. Lots of number one issues to talk about. We'll kick things off with Captain America number one by Ed Brubaker and Steve Mcniven. This is launched in connection with the new Captain America movie, is my hunch, that Marvel's trying to get people to go see the movie and then come in and pick up this comic, or vice versa. And that's a very worthy strategy. It worked with Invincible Iron Man. And again, like Invincible Iron Man, this first issue of Captain America is very, very good. Brubaker has been writing Cap for many, many years now. And again, my hunch is that we're going to see the ongoing Captain America, the current series, go away. It's going to be renamed Captain America and Bucky for a few issues, and then I think it's going to fade into the ether. And this will be the new standalone Captain America series. Mcniven's artwork is spectacular. He's the guy who did Civil War, he did Old Man Logan. He's done a lot of great stuff. We haven't seen anything from him, to the best of my knowledge, since Old Man Logan. I could be mistaken on that. But the way he draws Captain America and the supporting cast is outstanding. So, no complaints with this issue. Solid A all around. And if you're not familiar with Captain America, you can still pick this up and get into it and get ready for the movie on the 22nd.
Also, we have All Winter Squad Band of Heroes. This is the second issue. The first issue came out 2 weeks ago. We still have copies of both in stock. And it's really good. It's an A-issue mini set partially in the present day and partially during World War II, where Captain America is assembling, or the government is assembling and having Captain America lead a team of superpowered people to be sort of our strong right hand in the European and Pacific fronts. And it's really good. We've got kind of an interesting mystery going on in the present day story. You've got one of these heroes as an old man sort of retelling the story and talking about why one of the heroes is never heard of. You have kind of a mystery, a time travel stuff, not time travel, but stuff taking place across time. And it's a great read if you like classic World War II stories or old school heroes.
Speaking of time travel, The Red Wing, number one by Jonathan Hickman, and that guy, this other guy, Nick Pitara. Sorry, Nick. This is Hickman's new creator-owned series published by Image Comics. It is a miniseries, apparently a 4-issue miniseries. I think it was more than that when it first was solicited. But a very solid first issue sci-fi book. We don't see a lot of sci-fi on the comic stands these days. But Hickman has always been a sci-fi guy. If you're reading his Fantastic Four or his FF, there was definitely a lot of science fiction in there. S.H.I.E.L.D., not so sure about Secret Warriors, but maybe a little bit. But again, this is a real solid first issue if you've enjoyed Hickman's other work like S.H.I.E.L.D. or FF or his previous stuff, Pax Romana, Nightly News. This is in the vein of that. I think it's a little more higher profile than those other books, and we're expecting good sales. I think everybody's expecting good sales on it, and it's a really good book. There's a war going on that involves time travel, and we're actually seeing two different stories told at the same time. We have two young cadets that are in the military, and both of their fathers were part of the earlier military program that experimented with time travel, and we see part of their story as well. So again, it's a first issue, not a whole lot to tell you about other than I really enjoyed it, and I think it's a good start.
And we've got Green Lantern Corps 61. This is the first issue after the end of War of the Lanterns, and we're following John Stewart as spoiler alert, during War of the Green Lanterns, John Stewart killed Mogo, who's a beloved longtime Lantern and planet. And he's getting some backlash from that. He's dealing with it. He's a soldier, so he doesn't regret it, but he still has to come to terms with the fact that he's destroyed one of the longest-standing members of the Corps. And we also see some of the new cadets who received rings erroneously during the War of the Lanterns, kind of deciding whether they want to give them back or whether they want to go on and try and live up to the model of the Corps. But a really strong first issue, and it's the first one you can kind of pick up without being crossed over into 3 other Lantern books. So worth checking out.
X-Men Schism, issue number 1 of 5, written by Jason Aaron, art by Carlos Pacheco. Again, solid first issue to this X event that we've been building towards for the last several months with X-Men Prelude to Schism, which, as you recall, but Josh and I both really enjoyed. So we get to see kind of the impetus of what's going on here with Schism and how we end up, or we're going to see over the evolution of the series, how we end up with two very different mutant teams, one led by Wolverine and one led by Cyclops. And I think they're really playing that up because there's a lot of buddy-buddy Wolverine-Cyclops moments in this first issue, I think just to drive home that by the end of it, they're probably not on speaking terms and they go their separate ways. But again, very solid first issue. And there's something in the back written by the editor who indicates actually that this is setting up the next few years of X stories. The way Messiah Complex set up the last 3 years of X-Men stories, Schism is setting up the next 3 years or so of X-Men stories. So highly recommend it. You should check it out.
All right. For Flashpoint this week, we have the second round of several of the good Flashpoint books. We've got Emperor Aquaman 2, Citizen Cold 2, Frankenstein and Creatures of the Unknown 2, and one more. What was the other one?
Deathstroke.
Oh, yeah, Deathstroke and Ravager,
Ravagers.
which was actually really good. But my pick of the week for the Flashpoint universe, and actually my pick of the week in general, is Booster Gold number 46. This is the third Flashpoint issue of Booster Gold, and all of them have been really strong. He's still facing off against Doomsday. You're still seeing him interact with other DC characters in the new Flashpoint verse in interesting ways. And I don't want to spoil it for you. All 3 issues are still in the stands. They're all really good. If you're enjoying Flashpoint, you should be reading Booster Gold.
Got another number 1 from Marvel this week. We had a .1 issue of Ghost Rider last month, and now we've got the official number 1 issue, written by Rob Williams, art by Matthew Clark. And Johnny Blaze has found a way to give up the spirit of vengeance, to give up being Ghost Rider, and it's been passed on to someone else, and this time it's a female. And we see some classic Ghost Rider villains. We see Mephisto back towards the end of the story, and on an interesting twist, it looks like Mephisto and Johnny Blaze are going to have to work together to save the human race, which could be interesting. So again, if you've enjoyed Ghost Rider, there's actually when the 2 villains show up, it's what Death Watch and that guy.
The vampire guy, Shadow something.
I can't remember his name.
He's a
Blackout and Death Watch. But those are the 2 old school Ghost Rider villains that show up towards the beginning. And when they see a Ghost Rider coming, they're like, is it Blaze? Is it Ketch? And it's neither one. It's a new Ghost Rider. So there's a lot to love for fans of both Danny Ketch and Johnny Blaze and just Ghost Rider in general.
Speaking of a lot to love for fans, we've got Birds of Prey number 14. Now this is part of the fill-in issues we get before the new DC Universe, and it's not written by Gail Simone, which made me sort of hesitant, but it was actually very, very strong. You've got 2 stories taking place in the present day and back during the 50s, World War II possibly, it's 40s or 50s, and it features Black Canary, the original Black Canary, Blackhawk, Lady Blackhawk, wow, and the Phantom Lady, again, in both timelines, and you see kind of a missing story of them heading off to Brazil to head off some Nazis, not unlike Magneto in X-Men Origins. But it was very strong, really good if you like classic villains, classic heroes, and World War II. It's great.
Art by Billy Tucci, who loves his World War II.
He really does.
Did the Sergeant Rock stuff. My pick of the week, Ultimate Fallout Spider-Man No More. I think it's just called Ultimate Fallout, issue number 1 of 6. This is the fitting tribute to Spider-Man / Peter Parker that we didn't get to see at the end of the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man series. And this is a 6-issue miniseries. Different creators rotating through, to the best of my knowledge. This one is Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Bagley, with inks by Andy Lanning, interesting enough, of Abnett and Lanning fame. But this actually brought a tear to my eye. I'm not ashamed to admit it, but it did make me a little teary-eyed as I was reading it, because it's Bendis writing how the world, or New York City anyway, and his friends and family are reacting to the death of Peter Parker. So it was incredibly solid. It's a logical continuation for anyone who's been reading the Ultimate Comics Spider-Man series or Ultimate Spider-Man, and just found it very satisfying as a reader that's been with this character since the beginning. And I think you all would enjoy it too.
Right. In the collected edition front, we've got the soft cover of Blackest Night. Blackest Night, biggest crossover like ever. You've got heroes coming back as Black Lantern, zombies, Green Lanterns. You know what Blackest Night's about. It's in softcover.
You know what it's about. We're just telling you it's now in softcover. So you
It's
cheap
softcover.
guys that don't want to buy hardcovers, it's out in softcover. Come get it.
$20, great read.
$20? That thing's ginormous.
It's very thick.
And just a quick parting shot, I meant to mention this earlier with my Captain America review, but we have more Ed Brubaker this week. Batman Gotham Noir, this is one of the DC Comics Presents 100-page spectaculars, reprinting an Elseworld story that Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips did, the team behind Criminal. And Ed Brubaker is just, he's firing on all cylinders when he's writing noir stuff. So if you're a Batman fan, if you're looking for a solid Batman noir crime story, and again, with all that's going on in the Flashpoint universe, Elseworlds is always fun. check this one out. That will do it. We keep edging closer and closer to the new DC 52. Leave your comments and questions down in the comment section below. Visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/alteregomaniacs and stop in the store if you're around. Even if you're not, stop in the store. 230 North Main Street, right in downtown Lima. Thanks for watching.